Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's headlines, Tzu Chi volunteers in the United States are joining hands with the Red Cross to hand out emergency cash to fire victims. As the Tzu Chi Collegiate Youth Association is celebrating its 20th anniversary, we take a look at how they are contributing to make the world a better place. And in our feature report on Taiwan sunset trades, we learn the history of handmade painted paper umbrellas in Kaohsiung's Meinong district. Since June, forest fires have ravaged the state of Colorado, leading to evacuations in cities statewide, including residents from Denver and Colorado Springs. To help the fire victims, Tzu Chi joined the Red Cross for 3 days, in which they conducted a disaster survey and also handed out emergency cash.
As Tzu Chi and Red Cross volunteers conduct their disaster survey, around them they see the burned out forests and homes the fire left behind.
We did have a road closure here.
Regardless of differences in faith, at a later meeting of Catholics Charities organizations, Tzu Chi volunteers discuss what they are doing to help.
We have over 88 people, probably about 40 agencies that have banded together to provide long-term relief to the victims of the fire.
Since June, Colorado has been ravaged by several forest fires. Over 80,000 acres of land in and around Denver have been burned. While in Colorado Springs, fires raged out of control for 3 weeks, forcing 30,000 people to evacuate. Damages from the fires are estimated to reach over $30 million. Tzu Chi volunteers hand out emergency cash in hopes of bringing a small measure of comfort to victims.
Really appreciate the American Red Cross and Tzu Chi for their compassion, for your compassion for us.
Although it would take time for the wounds of the disaster to heal, both Tzu Chi and other local charity organizations are doing their best to encourage and support victims through these difficult and trying times.
Moving to Italy, where earthquakes between 5.8 and 6 in magnitude happened over a 2-week period in May. Volunteers from Germany drove nearly 10 hours and 1,000 kilometers to North Italy to bring relief in the disaster area. With blessings from the volunteers and hope for the future, the residents were very happy and even wanted a souvenir from the memorable encounter.
This year's May was not very calm for Italy. Over 2 weeks, several earthquakes left many factories and buildings destroyed. 1.5 months later, German volunteers visited the disaster area, which was in worse shape than they had imagined. With their houses destroyed by the tremor, disaster victims could only seek shelter and tents.
Tonight, they need to go to a hospital for a checkup. Their health conditions has never been that great.
Since the disaster, German volunteers have had difficulties in trying to cross the border to carry out relief work. Through different channels, Tzu Chi volunteer Rudolf Pfaff finally convinced the Italian government to allow Tzu Chi to enter the disaster zones to help quake victims. The journey of 1,000 kilometers from Germany cut through Austria before arriving into the heart of the disaster area, Modena, North Italy. When volunteers arrived, it was already 9:30 a.m. and they were immediately welcomed into the tents of the disaster victims.
Super good.
How are you? Knowing that the health of many senior residents is deteriorating and several school buildings and houses lay in ruins, Tzu Chi volunteers vow to return soon with plans to help victims rebuild their homes and lives.
Recently, many volunteer couples participated in a joint free clinic held by the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital and Tima medical staff. Among the participants were Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital's Vice Superintendent You Xianzhang and his wife. The couple said that by taking part in the event, not only were they able to help the needy, but it also enriched their lives. Today, medical staff from Taipei Tzuji Hospital and Tima doctors held a joint free clinic in Taipei's Gongliao district. The local residents also took the chance to ask doctors about their problems. To safeguard local residents' health, Tima doctors and volunteers hold regular free clinics at the Gongliao district.
Every 2 months, Tzuji comes here to help us. I'm very thankful. I always get the chance to attend to free clinics.
Also on site, helping patients measure their blood pressure is Taipei Tzuji Hospital's vice superintendent's wife. The couple says they're happy to be able to volunteer over the weekend.
I took the time to come here with my wife. Although it is hot, I'm still happy.
In spite of the hot summer heat, Tzuji volunteers continue to remedy pain, and with their families volunteering by their side, they said the event has brought their hearts closer together. To celebrate the 20th anniversary of Tzuji Collegiate Youth Association, Tzuchings are coming together in a global movement to promote environmentalism. In Taiwan, Hualien Tzuching started a recycling campaign and turned the event into a marathon recycling day around the globe. On July 15th, Tzuchings in 13 different countries came together to collect and sort garbage at their local recycling stations. Here's more.
On July 15th, 800 Hualien Tzuchings from different universities start the first leg of the Marathon Recycling Day at Hualien Tzuching abode by cleaning up the streets.
We hope through today's event, by walking in Tzuji aunts and uncles' shoes and cleaning up the streets or sorting recycling, Tzuchings can realize how worthwhile it is to do something good for the earth.
This group has been separated into 6 groups. In the streets or near the train station, you can see Tzuchings hard at work. Besides Taiwan, every hour, a different country will start recycling, thus passing on the torch in this worldwide relay Recycle Day.
This year is the 20th anniversary of Tzuchings. We are commemorating this occasion by gathering young people around the world to do a relay cleanup. Every hour, a new group will start recycling to make this world beautiful.
Using the power of social media, Tzuchings are updating their status about this Marathon Recycle Day to bring awareness of this event. Xie Dongting has set up a recycling point behind his school's cafeteria.
I want to do my part in helping out the earth.
Hualien is not the only area in Taiwan to participate in this event. In Taichung, many Tzuching alumni have returned to lend a helping hand. Tzuching alumnus Lin Shenxiang is at Dongda Recycling Center with Tzuching's sorting recycling. Lin's job is in building management, and he has shared his conservation ideas with the residents.
We young people will live longer than the older generations, so if we don't participate in recycling, then the earth will definitely be worse off.
Checking in, Tzuchings update their status on social media network. Xie Ruijun, a teacher in Hualien, has come to join the ranks.
If one more person can pitch in, then we have more manpower to help the earth.
The Marathon Recycle Day even reached this audience member who saw today's event promoted on DaAi TV a few days ago.
It is a good opportunity to come here to recycle and bring household items no longer in use to donate.
At 10 o'clock, the torch will pass to Japan. Tzuching stand at the ready, waiting for the clock to strike.
Japan Tzuji Chapter Marathon Recycling Day, Tzuchings go!
I'm a student from Tokyo International University.
Hi, I'm Shi Yan. I come from Malaysia.
26 Tzichings in different countries are helping to clean up the streets of Shinjuku.
新宿的一个红灯区，就夜晚。
Shinjuku is a red light district. At night, people will carelessly throw their plastic bottles or cigarette butts away.
现象比较严重。
Cleaning up the streets is not an easy task, and with the sun glaring down on volunteers, students are soaked with sweat. But this doesn't stop them from working hard. This kind of work ethic resonates with volunteers.
I thought to volunteer before. After today's event, I'm glad that I did. My heart has been cleansed and I'm happier.
This is just the beginning of this Marathon Recycle Day. A clean earth starts now.
In 2006, Tzichings in Taiwan started the campaign of the era of reusable utensils. The Tzichings took to the streets, hanging up posters to encourage stores to use reusable containers and utensils. And in 2009, another campaign was also established to promote carbon reduction through vegetarianism. Today, Tzichings hope to call on young people who often click the like button in Facebook, the online network, to come together to safeguard our planet. At 5 o'clock in the morning, this group of Tzichings is already up, brushing their teeth, waiting to listen to Wisdom at Dawn by Master Zhen Yan.
菩萨的眷属啊，为人就是每天修行啊，个人所讲的。
我们也是利用 SN， 就是
Every morning after the program, we will take 30 minutes to share our ideas on the master's teachings with each other by using MSN or video chat. Through sharing, we can brainstorm on how to incorporate these concepts into our daily lives.
At first, it was really hard to get up so early in the morning, but I would force myself to get up by setting 5 to 6 clocks. I used to get up and turn all of them off and go back to sleep.
5:15 in the morning, the Tzichings will call each other so no one sleeps in and misses the sharing.
喂，小丽早安，已经5点15分了，赶快起床吧。
Other than waking up in the morning to listen to the master's teachings, Tzichings also adopt the habit of going to sleep early. Tzichings in central Taiwan also encourage everyone in their dormitory to adopt the habit of putting out lights to reduce carbon emissions. To save our planet, Tzichings also walk along the street, promoting the concept of vegetarianism. The words of the master encourages the Tzichings to never give up, rain or shine.
晚上呢，到什么时候该休息？早上什么时候该起床？该用功哦，该熏陶心灵的法香。我相信这样的孩子呢，应该未来啦，在人生道上呢，应该会踏得很稳。未来的地球村呢，这一群都是精英啊。
Along with promoting vegetarianism, Tzichings from National Tsinghua University also came up with logos and slogans to promote the use of reusable utensils.
还有这个 logo， 这代表杯、碗还有筷子。然后碗是呵护地球。OK。
For the past 20 years, Tzichings have been using their power and technology to promote the concept of environmental protection. Now using social media, this group of young people promises to spread their good work further into the online world. For those who have tried to commit suicide, they may also have tried to seek help from others before taking their own lives. If we are able to identify the signs of suicidal behavior, tragedy can be prevented from happening. In the final report of our series on taking the sadness away, we hear from Dr. Fang Junkai and how he has helped his patients to move on with their lives.
Over the 15 years of his medical career, Xiaoqing was a patient that held a special place in Dr. Fang's heart. Only some 20 years of age, the girl personally made a doll for her doctor.
She wrote here, through your determinations that is as strong as steel. You brought hope to many. In the eyes of others, I am a burden, but in your heart, I am a life, a soul. The lines here represent every soul. To her, this is a place where she seeks help. However, she is also really troubled because a part of her wants to ask for help, but the other part of her feels that it is too painful and that she would rather die. So that's why she wrote this. She felt that no one wanted her anymore. When we noticed that she didn't come back for her follow-up, we realized something was wrong. So we tried to contact her through a few channels, and I found out that she had already passed away at home. Many of my patients have committed suicide, but she made a deep impression. Not only was she a patient of mine for many years, but I also tried my best to help her in many ways. For it to end like that, it was quite sad. She gave me a list on her second last visit to our center.
The death of a suicide victim not only affects family members, but also doctors and nurses as well. In the early days, patients were only referred to Mackay's Suicide Prevention Center after they failed to take their own life. Today, to raise awareness of suicide prevention, the government is also doing what they can.
Sometimes either on Facebook, personal blogs, MSN or apps, they will write certain messages. One example may be everything will be over when I die. When you see something like that, you need to be alert.
Look, listen, change, hold, walk, look at them when you are lending an ear. Change is not just about referring the person to someone else, but to help them change the way they think, change their perspective. Only then will they be able to get to the next stage, which is hold. Hold their hands and take them to the doctor to see a psychiatrist. Last but not least, walk is about accompanying the person on their life path.
我是马街医院周新月心理师。你好，我今天打来看看你这2个礼拜过得怎么样。
If we are able to identify the signs of suicidal behavior, we will be able to help reduce suicide rates. For those wanting to end their own lives, Dr. Fang shares his tips on ways to relax and get rid of anxiety.
Firstly, you can find something else to keep you occupied. Do you have a list of people who you can call and talk to? If you can't find anyone, how do you help yourself? Some people are able to relax through listening to music and to get rid of that anxiety. We all have something that works for us. For me, I carry it in my pocket all the time, whenever I'm troubled. Lemon essence oil does the trick for me. I will take a deep breath and not think about anything for a few minutes.
The tips Dr. Fang Junkai refers to may not solve one's problem, but are there to remind patients that they are not at the end of life, but only a turning point.
The handmade painted paper umbrellas of Maino in Kaohsiung County have been one of the area's most important cultural and commercial legacy over the past 60 years. In its heyday, there were over 20 factories manufacturing over 20,000 umbrellas a year. However, with the introduction of Western plastic umbrellas, the market for paper umbrellas collapsed. Despite this, there are still a few artisans are making an effort to preserve this unique Hakka culture for future generations.
Meinong lies near the mountains, and so the area is often enveloped in a fine mist. Therefore, it is no surprise that Taiwan's paper umbrella industry flourished here. Let's now take a closer look at Meinong's 60-year-old umbrella industry.
In the 30s and 40s, women wearing traditional Hakka shirts and carrying paper umbrellas were a common sight in Meinong. The big umbrellas were handmade from bamboo, paper and cotton string. Once completed, they would be decorated with calligraphy or painting, making them works of art.
The paper umbrella is an extension of the art of Chinese characters. Here in the umbrella brackets, we see the shape of the Chinese character, person. When a person reached 16 years of age in Meinong, they would receive an umbrella, which symbolized the responsibility they had in caring for others. Carrying on this cultural history is the store Guangjing Shen.
We brush from up to down. In those places that don't have color, you can decide if you want to continue to paint. It's up to you.
This is a classic example of a traditional Hakka village. Yes, I organized the trip because they have never been to Taiwan, and I thought it would be worth it for them to see a bit of Hakka culture. These are my Japanese friends, and they are having a great time.
The Hakka have always loved umbrellas and the idea of completion that they symbolize. In Meinong, umbrellas have been embedded in the culture for over 80 years. Lin Longjun is a second-generation paper umbrella maker and met his future wife thanks to these cultural markers.
The umbrella I bought was broken, and so I decided to fix it. His father was sleeping, so it was he that took care of me, and that is how we met.
Wu would later marry into the household and inherit the responsibility of passing on the tradition of paper umbrellas. Although the path has been difficult and not as easy as expected, there has never been regrets.
My husband says that a husband and wife bully each other.
Life is what you make of it, and your attitude in life. The most important thing is to have a sense of balance, which is easy to say but hard to pull off.
From the bamboo, the cotton paper to the slender string, everything about the umbrella seems fragile. However, under the skillful hands of a master, these materials become a tool to keep out the rain and sun. Living an artistic life also depends on the attitude you bring.
I think that happiness is a life of peace, and to be able to peacefully take this art form and culture legacy and pass it on. For our generations, I only hope that everything can work out smoothly and the art can be passed on.
Behind a simple wish is a great responsibility to pass on this art of paper umbrellas to the next generation, which the owners of Guangjing Sen work towards every day.
Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.